Welcome to Sissygram Spicy Story Channel. If you like my voice, then hit the like button and do subscribe our channel for regular updates. Today I come up with whole new content of story. So, now let's start the story. Lately, I've noticed that our marriage has been slipping into a bit of a rut. Don't get me wrong, I love Alina deeply as my best friend, my partner in crime, and my rock. But after 8 years together, our intimate moments have begun to feel somewhat routine. The fiery passion we once shared has softened into a comforting warmth. While that kind of stability is wonderful in its own way, I found myself yearning for the spark we used to have. One evening, after a quiet and uneventful date night, I felt a pang of longing for the excitement we used to share. I ended up scrolling through articles on my tablet, hoping to stumble across some inspiration to rekindle the spark. That's when I came across an article about cross-dressing. At first, the concept took me by surprise. It felt so unexpected and unlike anything Alina and I had ever discussed before. But as I kept reading, I became more and more intrigued. The article explained how cross-dressing could break down barriers, encourage deeper understanding between partners, and introduce an exciting new dynamic into the bedroom. The idea of seeing Alina in a completely new light felt both thrilling and nerve-wracking. That night, as I lay in bed, my mind kept circling back to the article. I remembered moments when I'd noticed Alina's interest in my lingerie drawer, especially his fascination with my pantyhose. I had always laughed it off as a quirky habit, but now I began to wonder if there might be more to it. Could he have a hidden desire of his own? The next day, I couldn't shake the thought. During my lunch break, I dove deeper into research on cross-dressing. I read personal stories from couples who had tried it, many of whom said it had strengthened their relationships. I also found advice on how to bring up the topic with your partner in a way that wouldn't make them feel uncomfortable. By the time Alina came home that evening, I had a plan. Over a simple pasta dinner, I searched for the right moment to casually introduce the idea. My heart raced as I finally spoke. "So, I read something interesting today," I began, twirling my fork in the spaghetti to appear nonchalant. "Have you ever heard of couples experimenting with cross-dressing?" Alina looked up from his plate, a teasing smile forming on his face. "Cross-dressing? You mean, like wearing each other's clothes?" he asked, amused. I nodded, trying to sound casual. "Apparently, it can really spice things up in the bedroom. Some couples say it helps them understand each other better and makes things more fun." He chuckled, shaking his head. "You always find the weirdest stuff online." I laughed along with him, but I couldn't ignore the flicker of curiosity in his eyes. Was it intrigue? It was subtle, but it was enough to encourage me to keep going. "I'm not saying we have to," I added, leaning back in my chair, "but it could be interesting. We're always looking for new ways to keep things exciting, right?" Alina shrugged, still smiling. "I guess, but can you actually picture me in a dress?" A grin spread across my face as an image of Alina in one of my dresses popped into my mind. "Maybe," I replied playfully. "I think you'd actually look pretty good in one. You've got great legs." He laughed more heartily this time. Okay, I'll consider it. But don't expect me to be strutting around in heels anytime soon." We moved on to other topics, but I couldn't shake the feeling that had uncovered something important. There was a part of Alina that seemed genuinely intrigued, even if he wasn't ready to admit it. That night, as we lay in bed, I noticed him glancing at my pantyhose draped over the chair. It was a small detail, but it strengthened my suspicion that his curiosity went deeper than he let on. Over the next few days, I continued to test the waters, dropping subtle hints. I'd mention how sexy it would be to see him in something silky or joke about how much fun it would be to do his makeup. Each time, he laughed it off, but that same flicker in his eyes remained, as if a tiny flame was waiting to be fanned into something more. One evening, after Alina had an especially stressful day at work, I decided to take a more direct approach. I prepared his favorite dinner, set the table with candles, and poured us both glasses of wine. As we ate, I revisited the topic with more conviction. "Remember our conversation about cross-dressing?" I asked, swirling my wine. "I've been thinking about it a lot, and I really believe it could be something fun for us to try." "No pressure, but maybe we could just experiment a little," Alina sighed, running a hand through his hair. "Madison, you're not going to let this go, are you?" I smiled, reaching across the table to take his hand. "I just think this could be a wonderful way for us to connect more deeply, and who knows, you might even enjoy it." He gazed at me for a long moment, the flicker in his eyes now a steady glow. Finally, he said, "All right, let's give it a try, but only because I love you and trust you." My heart leapt with excitement. "Thank you, Alina. I promise it'll be worth it." The next morning, I woke with a renewed sense of purpose. Once Alina left for work, I embarked on a shopping mission. I visited a wig boutique, eventually finding the perfect shoulder-length wig with soft chestnut curls. I imagined how it would frame Alina's face and give him an entirely new persona. Next, I nervously entered a lingerie store where I chose a silky lavender bra and panty set, as well as a pair of sheer pantyhose similar to the ones Alina always admired. My final stop was a boutique where I found a simple yet elegant black dress with a flattering cut. When Alina came home that evening, I greeted him with a warm smile and led him to the bedroom, where I began his transformation. I placed the wig on his head, dressed him in the lingerie and pantyhose, and helped him into the black dress. The final result was stunning, and I could see both nervousness and excitement in his eyes. We spent the rest of the evening playfully exploring his new persona, which we named Alexa. The experience was thrilling, intimate, and transformative, deepening our connection in ways we never imagined. It wasn't just about the clothes. It was about stepping into new roles and discovering new dimensions of our relationship. That night, as we lay together, we both felt a sense of fulfillment and closeness. It was the beginning of an exciting new journey, one we were eager to explore further together. This is where the story wraps up. Share your thoughts in the comments below. For more stories like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you soon. See you next time.